It is yet another beautiful Saturday. Happy Sabbath to you, my family. I'm so glad that you guys have tuned in today. My name is Amazing Katamanda. Welcome to the Weekly Gospel. You know how we do it right here. We give you nothing but the best of interviews. We get to profile artists. It doesn't matter whether established, upcoming, it doesn't matter. We don't segregate. That's what we're all about. We want you guys to know your favorite personalities beyond music or beyond what they do. So today, I'm providing a woman of God. She's very passionate about worship. When you hear her songs, you can definitely feel the presence of God in her songs. She pours her heart into her music. And her name is Deborah Mambo. She's in the studio, so if you guys have got any questions for her, make sure that you call in or text us using the numbers that are on the screen. Or better yet, you can follow us on our Facebook page, that's Kamnet TV, and then send those comments. I'll read them right here in the studios. And of course, if you know someone who is working today and they don't have time to be at home, make sure that you tell them that they can stream us live on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. It's as simple as that, guys. But anyway, enough of the talking. Let's just dive into it. So let's get to one of her songs. In this one, she featured Linda, and the title of the song is Wavy. So enjoy the song even as we are worshiping the Lord this morning. And good morning to those that are joining us. This is the Weekly Gospel with me, Amazing Katamanda. Thank you guys for choosing to wake up with us this morning. You know how we do it right here at the Weekly Gospel. We give you nothing but the best of your favorite personalities. You guys get to request for them, and then we get to bring them right here in the studio. So if you have any questions, or if you want to request for any artist that you would want to see on the Weekly Gospel, text us. Or better yet, you can follow us on our Facebook page, that Canon TV, and then get to request for the person that you want to see in the studios. And then we'll get to bring them right here. So today I'm profiling Deborah Mambo. So if you guys have got any questions for her, make sure that you text in or you call us using the numbers that are on the screen. She's here. Ask her any questions that you want to. She's known for songs like Mwanjimia, and we'll be playing that song later. But for now, welcome, Deborah.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here this morning.
We're also honored. We're humbled to have you this morning.
Thank you.
You're looking good.
Thank you so much.
So first things first, we would like to know, who is Deborah Mambo?
Deborah Mambo was born and raised here in Lusaka. Come from a family of 10. I'm the second born, and 8 of us are singers. I was born in a Christian home. My dad was a pastor, my late dad, and mom was also in ministry. So I grew up in church. I came to know the Lord when I was about 13, when my father led me to the Lord. And from that time, I started walking with the Lord on a personal level. And so I joined the music ministry when I was about 13. And since then, I've been singing in church. And I've also been singing in the background. I've been doing BVs for different artists. I've also done a few features here and there. Yeah, apart from just doing music and ministry, I'm also a hospitality manager by profession. So I worked in the industry for about 7 years. I worked for Cresta Govie Hotel. I worked for Waterfalls Hotel, and also Debonaire's Pizza. Yeah, so 2015, I got married to my husband, Pastor Emmanuel Mambo, Bread of Life in Pika. So I had to relocate from Lusaka to Pika.
Wow.
So since then, I have been in Pika.
So you had to travel all the way from
I had
Pika.
to quit my job. I had to leave Lusaka and just be in Pika.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what we call submission. Ladies and gentlemen, this is submission right here. Awesome. And can you say you are so far loving the fact that you sacrificed everything and then went to Mpika?
I do. I think it's something that I feel one of the decisions I feel I really made with the help of God, because it wasn't an easy one, but then by the grace of God, I was able to, somehow confidently believe that God was in it, and it's been worthwhile, I should say. From the time I left Lusaka to go to Mpika, everything has become better. My life, my music ministry, my financial status, everything has become better. So God had it planned.
He had it all planned out.
He had it all planned out.
I'm loving where you are right now.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did your interest in music start?
Okay. Growing up in a home where my parents loved to sing. My dad was a musician, so he used to play different instruments. He played the keyboard, the drums, the guitars. And so we used to sing a lot when we were young. And also, there was a music pastor from the church where I used to be, my father's church, yeah. He used to stay with us at some point, so he would get the guitar, play songs. I think that time I was about 3 years old, and my older sister was about 4. And so we'd sing with him. So he would teach us songs, we'd sing. So that's how we grew up. My dad would play, we sing, and so music was just something that we grew up with. So yeah.
Okay, so when did you choose to take it now on the professional level? Like, okay, now this is what I want to do. Aside from the fact that you are doing it with family, but when did you now decide to say, now I want to do it full time?
Okay, I actually decided in 2018.
2018?
Yeah.
All the way from.
Yeah.
It took you so long.
I think I was in a process of learning. Yeah, I was in a process of learning. The time I was doing BVs for other artists gave me a lot, of experience, a lot to learn. When I was at North Mid Assembly, I was part of the mega choir, and then we did an album. I was one of the lead vocalists there. I actually did one of the songs entitled Nazipeleka. So for me, all that was exposure, and that was some kind of experience I needed for myself before I could get out there. So I think I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to come out, so I only felt it in 2018.
That's when you just, okay, now.
Especially after Bishop Joy Makando, you know, gave us a theme that year, which was the year of taking over. I really felt the push to get out there and do something.
Wow, awesome. So from the time that you started, we have seen your videos, like they're high quality standard.
Wow,
and the songs, they're just so powerful. So now I want to know, how did you said you've been learning, but now how did you get to work with people like Ben Blazer, people like Ephraim and Linda? Because these are household names, these are big names. So now we want to know, how did you get them on your projects?
Okay, so like with the producer, it was started with the producer. I really wanted someone who would understand what kind of music I wanted to do, and I also wanted someone who had a good touch. Yeah, somebody who, you know, well known for producing good music. So I opted to go for Ben for some reasons, for many reasons actually. We had to compare different producers. I got quotations from different producers. At the end of the day, we had to narrow it down to one, and then we ended up with Ben Blazer, and I thank God I made that decision. I think so far we've done well together. Yeah, and then also for the featuring artists, for the first project I didn't even have a lot of names, big names. I worked with mostly my BVs. I think the only one that was coming from the industry already was Lydia, the one that featured on Worthy. Lydia is my friend, so it was easy for me to, you know, ask her for help. She came through and she was there and she was available. That's how we did Worthy. And this year when I started doing some new songs, I felt I needed to do some collaborations with artists who've gone ahead of me, those that I look up to and those that inspire me, and Ephraim is one of them. I've grown up listening to Ephraim. I've enjoyed, I've learned a lot from him, so I asked him if we could do something together. And he was very willing, and that's how we came up with that song. Yeah.
Powerful. And is the song already out, or?
Yeah, Shami Tushike is already out. Actually, it was out in, which month was that, June?
This year?
Yeah. So we're actually shooting a video this month for it, so we'll be bringing the video to the station.
You're really coming up with the fire. You take this big artist to work with you, and then now you're doing videos. How easy is it? Because you make it look so simple and easy. How do you do it?
It's not easy at all. It's costly, I should say. Very, very costly. But then I feel God has been in this whole thing, so He's been able to provide for me in so many ways. It's not cheap. Honestly, I am working with Big Deal Graphics. Those that have worked with him know how costly it can be. Yeah, so I feel God has just been in this whole thing, and so He's been able to help me to, finance this project.
We can't doubt. We can't dispute on that one. It's just so. I mean, it's evident. We can't dispute that. So now, why was it so important for you to learn and then now decide to say, okay, now I'm ready? Because we have a lot of young people that just want to jump on things. They just want easy things, quick things. But you took your time. So what are some of the things that you have learned and you can tell any young person out there who wants to get into music? Okay.
First of all, the emphasis on learning. For me, I believe when you take time to learn, you avoid certain mistakes that those people that have gone ahead of you have made. So you are able to make, good decisions because you have seen the wrongs, and so you want to do it right. So that helped me. At least I avoided a few things because I was able to learn from others. And then the other what I would advise artists out there is that I think for the music industry now, it's become so it's become so advanced. People are doing great stuff out there, and you don't want to come out there with something very mediocre. So you really need to be patient. I mean, if the finances are not there, Please don't rush. Yeah, because like I'm saying, I started in 2018. I've been there, I've been around, I've done features. Not that I couldn't sing.
Yeah.
I've been there, but I think I really needed to wait for the right time because I wanted to come out when I was ready. And so I felt I needed to be patient. So I was patient. I was learning from others. I was humble enough to be in the background. I think humility also is something that we should really emphasize on. You need to be humble enough to learn from others. Be at the back. It doesn't mean that every time someone has been, discovers they can sing, then they automatically go to the front.
Sure.
You must be at a place where even when you are, in the back, like the way I was in the choir, it wasn't all the time that I had the front row. At first I was in the back, and then eventually I started getting some lead parts and all. But most of the time I was in the back, and so that is something that we need to learn as artists. That when you need to be in the back, be in the back. When time comes for you to be out there, it clearly shows. Yeah.
And then God will just make
everything perfect for you. Yes.
It has to just be.
You will have battles here and there, but you will definitely see the hand of God because He is with you.
No, I'm so encouraged, and I hope that young people who are watching are learning something. It may not only be in music, but it can be with other things, career-wise. It can be, I don't know, whatever thing that you love doing, whatever you want to do. Be patient enough to learn before you can go out there. So now, do you have an album?
Yes. So I have an album entitled Mwanjimia. The album was released in 2018, December. So it's been there for about 2 years now. And it's got 9 tracks. It was produced by Ben Blazer. And I worked with guys from the Elect Band. I worked with Sheba as well and Skills. So it was a live project. The entire album was a project. Yeah, it was a live project.
Why did you decide to go with the live instead of the recorded?
Because of my experience of doing a lot of church ministry, I got so accustomed to doing ministry with live instruments. I've never really done digital. Okay, I did digital when I was helping others, like when I was doing BVs and features for others. We did digital. I'm not so much of a fan of digital music. I feel there's something it takes away from the live feel, which I am accustomed to. So I felt I needed to carry that same thing that I always experience when I'm doing ministry. I think it just pushes me to do better.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So now tell us, when it comes to writing your songs, what's your inspiration in short?
Okay. Actually, let me start by saying I'm not so much of a songwriter. That's something that I have come to accept and I have come to realize. And so I do not entirely write all my songs. By the grace of God, God has brought people into my life who He has used to write songs, and all we do is just like I'll sit down and then add this, do that, rearrange this, rearrange that. But sometimes I'll have the idea and then share it with someone, then they write the song and then we arrange it and all. Or some of them will write the song, bring it already done, and then all I do is just perfect it and then just personalize it, make it personal. I've only written in the album, one song that I wrote entirely was one song that I can say, okay, this is what I wrote entirely from the beginning to the end. I love to worship. I love to worship. But most of the other tracks, I'll either maybe add some verses, like Mwanjimia. Initially, there's a guy called Enoch that we used to fellowship with in Bread of Life in Pika. And that's one of the guys I worked with on the project as well. Enoch had the basic idea of Mwanjimia. And when I heard it, I loved it. So I asked him, get it. And so he says, no, actually, this song, I don't plan to record it. I just wrote it. I don't even know where to take it. So that's how I got the chorus and then started expanding it, added some verses, just structured it in a different way. Not exactly how he did it, just made it a bit, the way I felt that it would work. And then with the help of the musicians, and we came up with a full song.
Awesome. I have noticed something. Like most of the songs that I've heard that you've done are worship. Is there any special reason as to why you're so passionate about worship?
Well, I'm a worship leader, first and foremost. I do a lot of worship leading in church. And I think worship for me is something that has really changed my life. Why do I say so? Every time I've been at a place where I have been you know, in a place where I'm worshiping the Lord, I get so intimate with Him. I get to get to know God more. I get to have that experience with Him, which never leaves me the same. I feel it's a place where I can give it my all, you know, because it comes from really deep down. This is a place where I want to tell God who He is to me and how, you know, just that expression before God. Because there was a time in life when I really didn't believe in myself. I suffered from low self-esteem. Things were not as they look today. And the only hope I had was God. When things were not going the way that I would have expected them to go, the only hope and strength I had was God. And so at that point, I learned to depend on God. I learned to trust in God. And so for me, everything about my life has been God. So I just find it so enjoyable to just be at a place where I can just come to God and pour out and just love Him.
Awesome. You're a wife. You are a pastor's wife, meaning you don't only attend to your children, but spiritual children as well. So I want to know, how do you now balance or juggle things between being a pastor's wife, being a wife at home, and also your ministry, as in music? How do you just do everything?
According to how Scripture, you know, has arranged things, first of all, I submit to God, who is the supreme amongst everything. Then my husband. So before I can talk about church ministry, what, my husband has to be at a place.
I love the fact that you're being so women. Let's gather and learn something, okay? So call that woman that you know that has to hear this, because this is very important. So if you have a pen, get your paper or your notepads and then write down, because I believe this is wisdom that she's about to tell us right now.
Thank you.
Yes, please go ahead.
So secondly, my husband, for me, I think he deserves my submission in all areas. That is why I was able to leave my work to join him. I feel that's a place that God has called me to. And then when I'm done with doing everything I need to do with my husband, do what he needs, do everything that I need to do as a wife, then now there's my daughter, family, church comes in, and then, so I'm able to balance, because I have clearly distinguished their roles and places in my life. And so I think it hasn't been a problem really, because I've been able to identify which one is my place, which one comes first. And then also, what has helped me in terms of ministry, being a pastor's wife and being, a gospel artist, is to realize that I'm not the pastor, I am the pastor's wife. So in as much as I am a mother to many, which I have been, and I have embraced a lot of children who call me mom and who come to me for different reasons. Others will come for help, others will come for advice, different things. I have embraced them. But that doesn't mean that I take the place of my husband. So there's a place that my husband holds in the church that I have left for him. I can only go as far as being a mother, which is a natural thing. So I do not go beyond who I am. At the end of the day, the church has come to realize that I'm just my husband's wife.
You also have your own thing.
I have a personal life. I have a gift upon my life, which is not pastoring the church in terms of the way my husband does the work. Mine is to sing, which is ministry. And so that I have identified and have made it clear to the people that I minister with, even in church. So I'm in church, I'm in the choir. I sit with the choir, I wear choir uniform every Sunday, and that's my life. As the
pastor's wife, as the first lady.
I do not sit next to my husband in church and be the pastor's wife decorated in church. I sit with the choir, and I dress in the choir uniform, and I'm with the choir, and that's my life.
Wow. That's now, I don't know, but for lack of a better term, like that service. You understand your gift, and you're flowing in that. You are not putting yourself in a certain position. It says, just because I'm a pastor's wife, I have to be there. And what, you've humbled yourself, you've got humanity in you, which is very encouraging. And as a young lady, I'm learning something. I hope you guys at home are learning something as well. But wow. And why is it so important for women to understand their place, take their positions, and also, just be available for God in as much as you have other things to do. You can be a mother, you can be a wife, but why should women? Okay, in simple terms, let me just put it like this, okay? Let me not confuse things here. Let me just put it in simple terms. How important is it for a woman to just multitask?
Okay.
Yes.
I think the way that God designed women is that we are able to handle a lot of things at once. I think even science has proven that. Like, there's some funny diagrams I've seen of the brain of a woman and the brain of a man. The brain of a woman is so, and the brain of a man is just straightforward, And so, from what science has explained, is that men can just focus on one thing, and once they put their head to that one, and that's it. But women are able to handle a lot of things. So I think God put that in us during creation. When we are being created, He had that designed for us. So it's important for us as women to identify what we can do with what we have, because we have the ability and God has given us. But the only thing that we need to always remember is that we do not want to take the place of our husbands. At the end of the day, in as much as we have all these abilities, all these strengths, we must realize that the husband is the head. He still remains the head. And for a pastor's wife like me, I must always remember that I am just his helper and not the pastor too. Why? Why is that important? Because when we realize and clearly put a boundary to how far we can go, it will help us to avoid fights with our husbands as well as with the church. Because sometimes when you as a pastor's wife wants to take the front row, you don't know how many people are not happy with what you're able to do. And also, pastoring is a gift that God has given too. Like, for example, my husband. And for him to have given him that gift, He put enough grace for him to handle what comes with pastoring, which I may not have. So in trying to be a pastor as well, I may make a lot of mistakes because that's not my area of place. So.
I love how humble you are. I really love how humble you are. So now, talking about multitasking, today I'm turning you into a presenter. So I want you to look into that camera.
You must give me a job after this.
No, we'll talk. Right, we'll talk. But I want you to look into that camera and then introduce Mwanjimia.
Okay, so I'll talk just a bit about Mwanjimia. So Mwanjimia is a story that talks about, the song that talks about the story of my life. It talks about how that God has lifted me and changed my name. If those that know me from way back, I think will be amazed at the transformation in my life, because these are two different people. I was something else that, would not be celebrated today, but by the grace of God, I have a name that people can clap for. I have a name that is identified with great things. It wasn't like that in the past, but all that has been by the grace of God. So that's what Mwanjimia talks about. I have been lifted and my name has been changed.
Amen.
Yeah.
So guys, enjoy the song. We'll be back after this.
Let's
And you are still watching it. It is the weekly gospel, guys. Welcome. My name is Amazing Katamanda. For those that are just joining us, this is the weekly gospel. We give you nothing but the best. We profile your favorite personalities. We want you guys to know them beyond their music. So today I'm profiling Deborah Mambo, and she's the video that you're just from watching. She's the one that did it, and it is titled Mwanjimya. Indeed, God is the one that changes our names. He's the God that changes our stories. He will raise you from nothing to somebody. So if you know someone that is going through something and then they need some motivation, they need some encouragement, make sure you tell them to tune in right now to Kamni TV so that they can get some inspiration. So far, Deborah has just been nothing but good. She's been encouraging the women. So if you know a woman who needs to watch this, make sure that you call them, or they can stream us live on our Facebook page, Kamni TV. And good news, the phone lines are open. So if you have any questions for her, be sure to call in or text using the numbers that are on the screen. Okay, so maybe before I get to Deborah, let me just read some of the messages that you guys have been sending us on our Facebook page. Augustine says, good morning, watching from Choston. Thank you, Augustine. Then we have Elizabeth. She says, watching from Solwezi City, Western Province, all the way from the Western Province. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Then we also have Destiny. She says, leave Phil. Then we have Miriam that says, good morning, my dear sister Deborah. She's saying good morning to you.
Thank you, Miriam.
Then we have Susan says she's watching. We have Prosper says he's watching. Then we also have we have Malambo, and he says he's watching from Ndola. Thank you so much, those guys that are tuning in. So Deborah, can you tell us about the song that was playing? What was the inspiration behind Mwanjimya?
Okay, so like I explained earlier, Mwanjimya is a story of my life. It's a testimony, and I know it's not just a testimony that I share alone, but I think there are many others that have been where I've been, you know, where growing up, you're not the best of the children at home in terms of, you're not the most intelligent, you're not the most happening child in the home, you know. And so all that just, takes you puts at a place where your parents are not that confident in who you will become. But, by the grace of God, God has been able to, just show me and show everyone else that God can take a nobody and make them a somebody. The way my life has just been, I grew up in a family of 10, and then when my father died, we struggled a little, and how God has just been able to help me from, school. Like my father died when I just completed grade 12, and so we just remained with mom, and mom just had to carry all the pressure of the 10 children on her own. And so when I was in college, she ran out of finances to pay my school fees in the second term. So that was my first year, and so I won a scholarship by the grace of God. I didn't apply for it, but I just somehow won a scholarship, and that's how I completed my studies up to the third year, graduated. I didn't look for a job. The job called for me. Got a job. I was working there. Again, I got another job, and then that's the last job I had where I was managing an institution. So for me, all that has just been a sign that God has been lifting me from one level of glory to the other. And that's why Mwanjimya was actually the song that I just picked to be the title track of the album, because it really talks about where God has brought me from. Yeah.
So guys, if you have any questions for us, make sure that you call in and ask Deborah the questions that you have for her. Those that are texting us on our Facebook page, we have Banka from Ndola. Thank you so much for tuning in, Banka. Yes, thank you so much. For those that are watching from Solwezi, guys, thank you so much. We are so overwhelmed with the love that you guys are showing us. So if you have any questions, call in. The phone lines are open. Okay. You have given us a story of how everything was and how God just turned everything for good, and then today you're where you're standing. So I want to know, what are some of the challenges that you have faced in your career or in your life, and then how are you navigating? How do you navigate?
When I was growing up, I had a challenge with low self-esteem. I never believed in myself. I struggled a little. Quite a number of things caused that. I wasn't very intelligent. Okay, I don't know whether I wasn't very intelligent or I just didn't believe in myself, because eventually I was doing well, so I don't know. But I grew up not believing that I could do well in school. I would wet the bed when I was young, and so all that brought some stigmatization in the house, and everyone stigmatized me because of that. My friends would laugh at me, and so all those things just contributed to making me feel that I was a nobody and that I was not good enough. So I grew up with that. It really affected me in so many ways. I couldn't, I would be in school. Naturally, I'm this kind of person who understands things quickly in class, and even before I read any notes, just by the lecturer's teachings or the teacher's teachings, I'm able to understand things. But then I had that, so I don't know, for some reason, because the devil was trying to make me feel like I was a nobody. What I've realized is that the devil will always fight your identity, try to fight your esteem, so that you can be at a place where you don't believe in yourself, you don't see any good in yourself. And when you get to a place where you don't see any good in yourself, you are prone to sin and to everything that will destroy you. Why? Because everything that will make you feel you are good, or anything that will make you feel you're worth it, is all those bad things around there. Because you have told yourself all these good things are not for you. So you are vulnerable to sin, you are vulnerable to distraction. And so I felt the devil tried to really fight me in that area. And so growing up, when I reached, I think I was in grade 12 then, I used to watch a lot of, like I said earlier, my comfort was in God, because I grew up in a Christian home. So I used to watch a lot of TBN, and then those days we had JCTV in the evening, where we would watch youth programs. And then, so one day I was watching a program by Josh McDowell, and he was talking about low self-esteem. And so when Josh McDowell talked about low self-esteem, how that it can affect you and make you become a nobody in life, and if you're not, but if you're not careful, you end up becoming destroyed by the enemy, because then that's his target at the end of the day. And so that really got to me that day, and I made up my mind that I will never look down on myself again. I changed my attitude towards me. I became this person that began to love myself. I began to grow confidence in myself. And at that moment, I started doing well in school. Funny enough, everything that I thought I couldn't do, I was able to do. In grade 12, I was able to clear all my subjects. I went into college. I was one of the top performing students in university in the college. And from then, even when I went into the industry to work, I've been one of those people that, have been identified as the most, people who are hardworking, intelligent, innovative, all those things. But then I realized that all those things were already in me, but I didn't realize, because the devil was lying to me that I was a nobody. So just an encouragement to people out there. Sometimes we don't have confidence in who we are, because we don't believe in who we are. We don't love ourselves. But that is a lie of the enemy, and the devil's plan is to make us feel inferior, so he can take advantage of that, that feeling that we have. And so that becomes a route that he uses to destroy us. So please do not feel any less. Know your identity in Christ. You are better than what you are right now.
Amen. I feel so encouraged right now, because I can say I am still suffering from low esteem, because they just tell me, I just like, okay, I can't do this, but there are people that are always pushing me like, no, you can do it, but I just feel like, no, I can't do it. So if there's anyone who's feeling like that, we've heard the word, so let us silence the devil's voice, because he knows when you are confident enough, when he knows that you can do something, he can't have a stronghold on you. But if you allow him to speak negative things to you, allow him to tell you what you can do and what you cannot do, then you will definitely go down. So we are so encouraged. Thank you so very much for your encouraging words, and we are so motivated, and like me personally, I'm encouraged. And from today onwards, I'll become confident. Start doing things that I felt like I will never do, especially when it comes to just doing things like in public. People will just see me here and they think, oh, this girl is confident. Guys, I'm suffering.
I think one thing we need to realize is that in the midst of weaknesses, we have strengths.
Yes.
But most of the times, the devil will make us focus on our weaknesses. And so when we focus so much on our weaknesses, it takes away our confidence.
Yeah, true.
But when you focus on your strengths, right now, you're a presenter, you can speak well. Do you know how many people wish they could do that? You are beautiful, you are here, and so many people who wish they could just speak English the way you speak.
Oh my God.
There are so many people that would want to, just have that body that you have. Because like for me, I had a problem with my own body. And I didn't realize there were so many people that admired how I looked.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it. So it's just about knowing what is it that is good about me and take, that same thing, and this is what gives you confidence. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so very much. I'm encouraged. So from today onwards, I'm changed. I'll become more confident. Like I'll start doing things that I thought that I can't do. I'll start doing them. And this is a promise to myself, and I'm doing it. National TV. But thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Mom Deborah, if I can call you that. So now tell us about the supports that you've had from family. How are they supporting your ministry?
I think I'll start with my husband first. My husband has been a great support. I really wouldn't have gone this far without him. He's the one that has pushed me this far. He's financed my projects. He's been at the helm of everything I've done. There's certain things that I thought I wouldn't do, but he has pushed me and encouraged me. He believes in me. He believes in my gift. He has been at a place where even when I felt discouraged, he was encouraged. When I felt I couldn't do it, he really felt I would do it. So every time I would draw my inspiration and strength from him. Then my mom, my siblings have been so great. My friends, everyone has been supporting. I really appreciate it. Every time. The church in Pika has been amazing. I've actually seen Susan Tota is watching all the way from Pika. I get that love, and that has really pushed me to become, this Deborah that you're seeing today.
Okay, so we have a caller. Hello. Hi, how are you? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Deborah Mambo calling from the Livingstone.
Oh, Livingstone is representing very well in the building. Yes, please go ahead with your comments, contributions.
Hi, Deborah, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. I love your music.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for calling. So if you guys have got any questions for Deborah, or you just want to encourage her, or you just want to appreciate her, please call using the numbers that are on the screen, or keep those text messages coming in. So now, you said your husband is the one that pushes you. Now I want to find out, why is it so important for people to choose partners or friends that are always pushing them to do something positive?
I think if we look even in the Bible talks about the power of association. He says, he that walks with fools becomes a fool, but he that walks with the wise, is wise as well. And then there's also the scripture that says, iron sharpens iron, deep calls unto deep. So there's a lot of, all those scriptures that talk about who we relate with. So it is important, first, like for a marriage partner, you really need to find, marry this person that will push you to become better. Not someone who will kill the little thing that is in you. That little candle must be, must not be blown away by somebody you get married to. So that has been my strength. I think my husband has been a great support. He's been somebody that has pushed me to become better. And also the people that we associate with, apart from those that we inspire, because you can't run away from the fact that there are people that look up to you and want to be inspired by you. We must also desire to associate with people that push us to become better, to become great in whatever we are doing. People that have, that have got that, they've got you at heart, and they want you to succeed. So you look up to them, you learn from them. That is important, because when you spend time with fools, there's nothing great that you can achieve in this life.
We have a caller. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm thinking, how are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you. Please, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Kazam. This is Kashweka calling from Kawe. I'm a daughter to Mama Mambo there.
Oh.
Hi. This is Kashweka. It's good to hear from you. It's been long.
Yeah, it's been long. I'm happy to see you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Since you now left us in Mujinga, it's been a long time. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Your music is so inspirational.
Thank you.
To worship God. Thank you so much, and may God keep blessing you back.
Amen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling. So, if you still want to call, guys, we still have time. So make sure that you call using the numbers that are on the screen, or text us, or you can comment on our Facebook page, Kamne TV, like the page, and then send those questions, those contributions that you have for Deborah. Okay? You, earlier on, before we had the caller, you were talking about the power of association. I feel every young person out there, okay, not just for the young person, but everybody, we need to surround ourselves with people that see things that we can't see in ourselves, people that are pushing us to do greater things. And I can testify, okay, I feel blessed because even where I'm working right now, guys, I have people that, they're just pushing me. The things I didn't know I was capable of doing, but now I'm able to do those things because of the association that I have. So it's time for you to get rid of people that are not encouraging you to be your best, encouraging you to do things that you are meant to do. So now, talking about family and church, ministry, how do you feel they support your music? Do you feel they've been very supportive, or you feel there's more that they can do to support you?
I think I won't complain. Mm-hmm. I think they have been good. Mm-hmm. Like when I say the church, like when my album was out, mm-hmm. the guys in the church in Impika were the first ones to buy the CDs, mm-hmm. and most of them were buying them at a price more than what I had targeted to sell the CDs from. Mm-hmm. That was very encouraging for me to see mm-hmm. somebody paying more than what they needed to pay for the CDs, mm-hmm. and how that they every time I'm on TV or doing any programs on social media, they'll be there following and sharing mm-hmm. what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. That is a great encouragement. I think if I would say they didn't support me, then I'm not being grateful. Mm-hmm. They have been so good. My husband has been so good. My siblings have been there. Like in the Wanjimi album, I had 2 of my sisters working with me. Mm-hmm. I actually featured them on 2 songs, each one on one song. And right now I have my other young sister who always goes out for ministry with me. Every time I'm singing, she's on my side, mm-hmm. So that for me is an encouragement, and I really appreciate the family. Mm-hmm. Generally, as Bread of Life Church, because Bread of Life is vast. It's spread all over the country, outside the country. Mm-hmm. I've really received some good feedback and good support from the church. Mm-hmm. Starting from the Blessing Center here in Lusaka, Bishop, mm-hmm. Announced my release of the project. Bishop has been supportive. Mm-hmm. He's been praying for me. Mm-hmm. Every time I make a step, I'll go and report, and he would pray for me and speak a blessing. That for me has been something that has pushed me. Mm-hmm. I have had invitations, right there at the Blessing Center as an artist, not just a church member. Yeah. So where I have been recognized as an artist, and as Deborah Mambo, where I've been honored in that way. Mm-hmm. That for me has been something that has encouraged me. And other branches as well. I've had Dollar Bread of Life, which has hosted me a number of times mm-hmm. as Deborah, and that for me is something that pushes me. But Chilanga Bread of Life, Nakonde Bread of Life, Pastor Mundia in Chidawombwe, mm-hmm. I've been to Kitwe, I've been to Livingstone. Mm-hmm. So that, I think, I don't know, I may have left out one, the other branches, but Chinsali Bread of Life, Pastor Gideon has been so much of a support. A lot of, Bread of Life South Africa, I was hosted there. They bought my CDs, like I was shocked. I ran out of CDs in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. And all that for me is really something I should thank God for. I didn't mm-hmm. expect it. They don't owe me that. Yeah. They are doing it out of love and out of, trying to support me. So I'm so grateful.
Oh, we bless God. We have a caller. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I can guess. That's my husband.
Oh my God, you built the lab in the studios.
How do I get exposed before I even say anything?
You can't hide.
Please, sir, do you have any comments, contributions for your wife?
Well, I'm calling. She talked so well about understanding her offices, understanding how she's a wife, how she's a minister, how she's a church member, and all that. So, learning from her, I'm calling as a #1 fan, and we just want to let you know that we love your music, we love what you're doing, we love where God is taking you, and we love the way you've incorporated greatness in humility. I guess it's something that is worthy riding home with. That you could be that great and could score the way you have scored in a very short space of time. And yet you have left your focus on God and you have allowed God to take his place of glory. And I'm inspired, and I want you to know that if you keep that lane, not even the sky is going to be the limit. But trust me, Africa is too small for you, and the world awaits what the Lord has called you to be. And if you keep that lane, trust me, nations will hear about you.
Thank you. Amen.
Super proud of you, and we love what you're doing. And for as long as the Lord keeps us around you, trust me, we'll be there to contribute in every manner that we need to, because we trust that God is at work in your life. So love you too much, and love what you're doing.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
Aww. I don't even know what to say. Okay, that's some love right there. Guys. I tap into the anointing, tap into the grace. I tap into that grace, I tap into that anointing. I mean, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel so great. Like I've kept on saying, my husband has been there for me, and that has really been a push for me. Yeah, I think he's been amazing. All that he's saying there is not just for TV. I think I can attest. Before he called in, I think you heard me mention so many times. He's been a great support, and I look up to him. He's a blessing.
God. I feel the love, like, guys, the love. Oh my God, this has been an awesome day. But unfortunately, time is not on our side. So any last remarks, where can people get your music? How can they get in touch with you? And for those that would want to be part of your ministry, how can they get to be part of it?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for hosting me. It's been such a great joy and honor to be here. I'm so glad I met you. You're such a nice person. I've had a great time on the show. And for you, those that are listening, if you'd like to access my music, I have it on online digital platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, all those. You can just search for Deborah Mambo and you'll be able to find all those. And then for those that would like to get CDs, you can get in touch with me on my page, Deborah Mambo on Facebook. Then I also have an Instagram account, Deborah Mambo. I'm also on YouTube with the same name, Deborah Mambo. Twitter, and if you'd like to any other information from me, please feel free to text me. Feel free to, to inbox me and we can chat.
Okay, so you've heard where you can get her music. You've heard.
And the Blessing Center bookshop has my CDs as well, so you can just walk there and get a copy.
Okay. Any future projects?
Yes. Actually, this year I've done singles which I have not sold. I have given them for free. Reason being, I felt this year was a year where people were so discouraged. So I gave out free music just to encourage people. That I thought that is the way I was going to give back in the ministry. And then this month I'm doing a big project, which is a video shoot where I have about 5 songs being done in one weekend. That I'm looking forward to, and I pray that you will be blessed as soon as those videos are released. Yeah, but more is coming. I'll keep updating you. Just keep following my pages and everything.
Just stay tuned, guys. Just stay tuned, okay?
Yeah, social media. I'll be able to update you on all the happenings that will be coming.
No, we're humbled. Thank you so much for coming, and we wish you God's blessing in all your future projects that are yet to come out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so this has been amazing, Katamanda. Unfortunately, this is where I have to say my goodbyes. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to catch us again next week, same time, same place, for yet another exciting episode. And guess what? I'm having another person, but I'm not going to tell you who it is because I want you guys to stay good. So keep it locked to Kamni TV. We are not just another channel. So I'm leaving you with a song titled Mwanjinia. But this one, it was in the living room.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So stay blessed. Keep it locked to Kamni TV.
Mueva luces. kwandi mweba maka mweba luce mweba maka mweba luce amashiwi enu pamwe wandi akachitika ifila yofyenu pamwe wandi fikishwa mweba maka mweba luce mweba maka mweba luce mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mweba maka mweba luce mweba maka mweba luce mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mweba maka mweba luce mweba maka mweba luce mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mwanjimya lesa mwanjinde shina mweba maka ni mwe yawe mweba luce ni mwe tata mweba maka ni mwe yawe mweba luce hallelujah he's worthy thank you Jesus hallelujah sumbule shina lyenu yawe tapabo wabangayi matata twasumbule shina lyenu twasumbule shina lyenu twasumbule shina lyenu twasumbule shina lyenu twachindike shina lyenu twachindike shina lyenu twachindike shina lyenu twachindike shina lyenu ekemya maka yenu yalangwe mumyeo shesu yonse lyo twaita eshina lyenu lekeni amalwele yapole yonse lyo twasumbula ishina lyenu lekeni impofu shimone nefile mavyende yonse lyo twaita eshina lyenu lesumbulwe 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 sumbule shina lyenu lesumbulwe 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 lyenu chakwawo wabangayi mwe yawe yalikwata eshina amanga eshina lyenu yawe chakwabo wabangayi mwe tata neso